And coming here live from Osh, Kyrgyzstan, I am your host Yaku of ZvP here with the ESL Pro Tour number 20 Open Cup 1 Asia, where we are going to be starting off with my co-host Light_VIP, otherwise known as La Batteria del Boligrafo Inalámbrico. Don't try to do an intro while doing a bunch of other things at the same time. That is my advice to people.
I was hoping you would do the casting tool stuff first and then do the intro. Give
I was
yourself
like, nah,
some time.
I can do that at the same time. I do both of that at the same time.
Good. And yes, we are here. We are live. We are live with ESL Open Cup Asia number 21. It's been a week. We're back. And we've got a pretty sick series.
That we have PVZ, which unfortunately will result in a bit of a team kill here, but you know, what can you really do? Where we are going to be starting off here in the whatchamacallit, lower left-hand corner map, spawning in the lower left-hand corner of the map. It is going to be a red Protoss all the way from the land of Korea. He is the something or another. Representing Jin Air Green Wings, we have Creator. Alright, so this barcode.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream LE, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player. Representing also Jin Air Green Wings, if I'm not wrong, we have Rex.
Yeah, I don't think that has changed much at all.
Something that's weird about these, I've only just realized, when it comes to these Korean players on their main accounts, they don't have like clan tags for their teams, like for Korean teams.
Yeah, they typically don't. I'm not really sure what that's about, but you know,
I was
I'm
thinking back
oh,
at like CJ or Afrika or like SKT and KT, like they didn't have in-game team clan tags, right? I don't think they did.
No, I think that was reserved mostly for Pro League, and obviously during the Pro League you would have to sign into whatever account they had at the time that you had to use, and yeah, other than that, I think a lot of the players just are in meme clans pretty much in game,
or like actual legit clans, like Into the Clan and stuff like that. Like
yeah, meme clans.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting that that's kind of how at least the Korean teams have worked out. I know like the Chinese teams, they have like BSG and Kaizi and stuff like that. So
there's also Raise Your Edge, because thinking back, I feel like Zess would be the only player who we consistently cast that has his team as his clan tag.
Yeah. And speaking of teams, right, like we do have two teammates here. I don't know how active the Jin Air house is at the moment. I don't know if things have changed, because I do know that like occasionally like Creator, he would go to the team house and he'd like spend a couple of days at home. When it comes to like COVID and how things like the lockdown and stuff, I don't know if like everyone's in the team house or if they're even allowed to be at the team house. Like,
well, I think now in Korea it is changing a little bit. They're starting to loosen up, but yeah, I don't think they were congregating, let me put it that way, before then. Because there's always that distinction, right? Yeah, well, technically they're living together, which is the wording that is often used, but it's a team and not like, you know, a household, so to speak. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's a loophole there.
Yeah. We need someone on the ground to let us know.
Get on it, Kronos.
Get on it, Juanito. Like, we need the inside scoop. As you know, talking about the game a little bit, we did have Creator go for, I believe it was the Stargate first, as there is an
Stargate
Oracle
first.
on the way.
Yeah, going for the single Oracle build. A little bit more of a conservative way to play this out. Typically what happens is you want to be using the Oracle primarily for scouting. a lot of times you'll see a lot of other Protoss players in PvZ. They'll go double, sometimes even triple Oracle, and that is really what they want to really get the worker damage done. Otherwise, or even get a Phoenix out to start clearing Overlords. What Creator is doing right now is just, I want to get that Scout, and then I want to build into potentially a Soul Train based on the buildings that we've seen.
Honestly, I feel so much at home right now. I know that you were probably asleep at the time, but we were casting Battle of the Americas yesterday, and every single like PvZ, we casted a lot of Patty Mac. He would go every single game, Stargate, triple Oracle, and we're like, what is happening? Like consistently, every single game he would do that same opener. It was like,
that's something Protoss players do quite a bit of.
Like it feels like even more of like an NA meta sort of thing. Like in Korea, at least, you don't see it as often as that. You see like, you know, a mixture of things, or even like 1 or 2 Oracle openings. So I feel a lot more comfortable here. I feel like I know more of what's going on.
How comfortable do you feel about this very quick Templar Archives coming out from Creator though?
Yeah, this is kind of weird because typically when you see Archons, like you see like Dark Shrine, and then
exactly they have quite a bit more utility compared to the High Templar, and especially a little bit earlier on, you don't have as much gas for you to really spend.
Yeah, it's kind of.
But Creator has enough.
It's interesting. Like I haven't seen this too often. Like again, the Dark Shrine is a lot more common for this.
Well, speaking of commonalities. This is not quite one of them, as we do see these Archons. They are shredding the roaches. Good split coming out from Rex. And we'll be able to keep most of his units alive. Use up quite a bit of energy on those queens, which means no transfuse for the time being, but that's what you want to happen as a Zerg player.
Yeah, I'm really curious how Creator plays this out, because he went for that Templar Archives faster. That tells me that he probably wants to go for Storm faster. Otherwise, why would you, right? So we'll see if that ends up being made. Something else that's interesting is that with those Archons, he didn't use it to clear creep. He was specifically focusing down roaches instead of even going for workers, which was interesting as well. I'm just really, I want to see what he does. I'm curious.
Well. They are teammates, and they do practice together quite a bit, and I think Rex does like practicing quite a bit with a lot of other players from different teams, but they do practice with among the clan themselves quite a bit, and I'm thinking that Creator might know just enough about Rex that he's tailored a sort of strategy around it that goes with attacking those roaches. That's a quick infestation pit, though.
That is a quick infestation pit. We could see a couple of things coming out of this. Obviously, Swarmhost Nidus, or just Swarmhost in general, they used to be a lot more popular. Now we see it sprinkled in here and there. Rex, he could be one to go for that, or maybe he just wants a quick hive. We'll see, though, as Creator is already pushing out across the map.
Yeah, this game just seems... He's so sped up right now. We see Creator moving out. Did not even have a forge ready back at home. His charge isn't even complete yet. It is about to be done. And I gotta tell you, Light, I feel like they decided to just skip a bunch of steps and say, yo, let's go for that big fight that we're sure that the viewers want to see.
Yeah, and
Alright, Creator's backing out.
Yeah, he doesn't even commit to it. He was just posturing a little bit. Maybe he scattered something and told him, you know what, I'm just going to back off. My +1 only just started. I'm getting Storm. I'm just going to back off and chill and just smack her up, I guess. And there it is, Nidus, the Stormhost Nidus.
There we go. It does seem like that's what we're going to be getting into. It's going to be on top of Creator to see this. And just try to prevent any Niduses from getting up above the ground.
Yeah, he's going to have to be on top of his scouting. As of yet, the Nidus hasn't been scouted. The Infestation Pit hasn't been scouted either. So Creator is a little bit in the dark right now. But maybe defensively, he's looking okay. Like with all of his tech, he's even getting cannons defensively as well. We'll see if the Stormhost decides to go for like the third base or the main.
And this is about the right time for X to be moving out. He does want his Stormhost to go into the Nidus and just try to distract Creator as much as he can. So he doesn't realize that a base gets sniped or two.
Yeah, and it did look like, I believe it was a hallucination scout went in and did see the infestation pit and the Nidus. So Creator, he does know what is coming. Now he just needs to make sure he has vision, as he does spot the first Nidus and he does take it out.
Nicely done coming out from our red Protoss player. Do you see that the fight that we were promised, Light, is about to be starting pretty soon?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
perhaps not. They are just posturing around. Neither of them really wants to commit. They know that doing so will mean the end of the game one way or another.
He's just getting more and more swarm hosts, and it looks like because that Nidus was taken out, he's just committing to a front-on engagement. He's giving up on that, and
here comes the storm. Very good force fields coming out from Creator. The storms manage to get down just about everything. The Roach and the Ravagers do manage to power through and take out the rest of the High Templar. Archon count and Immortal count has just about been taken out. These Locusts are so tanky. But now that they're out, what is left here for Rex?
Not much. This is the opportunity for Creator to just push on through. There are a couple of swarm hosts, but the flank with the Zealots as well. Nicely done. Is he going to be able to deny the swarm hosts escaping? It looks like they will end up waddling away. So that was a decent hold by Creator, but it was really expensive as well. He lost the majority of his High Templar. That
indeed it was. And now we can really see the rest of his army suffering for it. He does not really have a lot of zoning potential. His sentries are running really low on energy. Yeah. And again, that Storm is the answer to Locust right now. All Creator can really do when Rex sends out his waves is back away. But on the flip side of that, whilst Rex is waiting for Locust to come off of cooldown, there's not much he can do but waddle his Swarm hosts away.
Exactly, the Swarm host, the Locusts just finished with their cooldown, and now is the opportunity for Creator to fight this army. But again, Creator's army is still lacking at the moment. He only has a couple of Immortals, still no High Templar to replace the ones that he lost.
But here comes a flank with the Zealots. Should be able to catch all of these Roach Ravager off guard. He does need to be careful of his storms once again. High Templar, that's the word I was thinking of.
Yeah, a couple more were sniped there with the retreating roaches. So Rex has actually done a really good job at focusing them, and these High Templar, they need a little bit of time to get enough energy for those storms.
But I think I am actually starting to favor Creator a little bit now. He is starting to lose probes and could get his base sniped, which he does. But now that the High Templar are here, they're almost about to have enough storms. I really don't think Rex is going to have enough to really hold against the amount of firepower that Creator's going to be throwing this way.
Yeah, we'll see if Rex wasted his Locust Wave on that base because he needs as much as he can to defend this army. But it looks like he has, bought enough time. Yeah, it looks like they will recharge.
Look at all of these Swarm hosts. They do have enough. Now, Rex still does have to be a little bit careful about them. He does not want to bunch them up and have them be obliterated by storms. We do see Creator starting to throw a couple of them down. He is very careful right now. He knows just how fragile his High Templar are. He does not want to leave them exposed to the Locusts. A little bit of a mistimed storm there. The Locusts were about to...
It seemed almost like a little bit of a panic storm there, but now is the opportunity for Creator to try and deal some damage to counterattack, as Rex, he knows this, and again, he's trying to buy as much time for his Locust to recharge once again.
And he is getting quite a bit of value out with this run by, already able to take out a Archon. And this is the back and forth.
A lot of storms did go down there. Again, the Locust Wave did recharge.
But Creator is doing his best to try to starve Rex out as much as he can. We see a lot of Zealot run-bys coming along, a lot of warp-ins. Does draw the majority of Rex's forces back. These Locusts are way too far. I don't think they're gonna find anything to land. Okay, they're trying to go for that fourth base of Creator, but actually they evaporate before they can land.
That could be a game-ending move. It does kind of depend on when Creator decides to pounce, because right now there's a lot of Swarm hosts that don't have any Locusts whatsoever ready for this. But Creator, he's trying to establish himself.
Yeah, he's just sort of setting up his avenues of attack right now, trying to, if possible, draw Rex and all of his Swarm hosts into a good defensive position on him, where his counterattack will be won't face a lot of resistance, so we put it that way. This flank with the Locust is absolutely huge. Creator getting absolutely sandwiched here. Is the storm gonna be enough? It looks like it might just barely be. These Stalkers do have blink, and they will be able to blink away. High Templar will take it out, but now these Swarm hosts are super vulnerable. The Roach Ravager are starting to move in, and they are providing quite a big buffer, but they are badly wounded. These Zealots coming in from behind, and they will be able to take out the Swarm hosts then and there. We've seen a sandwich, but now how about a double sandwich coming out? a reverse sandwich, if you will. What do they call it? A face side up?
Yeah, we've got a lot of layers back here.
Yeah, we do have a lot of layers of bread.
It's like that scene, you know, you think you've trapped in here with me, or like, I'm trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me. Oh god.
That's exactly what Creator was doing. But all things considered, he lost a lot of high-tech units coming out from that army. I do like what he's trying to transition to now with the Dark Shrine, though.
Yeah, both players lost a lot of units there. A lot of Swarm Hosts went down, a lot of Immortals and High Templar went down as well. But I do want to give the edge to Creator because Rex, I feel like this Swarm Host composition, it has a little bit of a timer on it that eventually you want to transition out of. Like, it's solid up to a certain point, but now, like, there was a point where Rex was almost maxed out and he was ahead in like 40, 50 supply to Creator. But now Creator, he has the supply advantage.
That he does, and you don't even want to be even on army supply in a ZvP light if you're the third player. Now that Creator is actually ahead, it's really hard to see Rex pulling anything out. GG is called, and Creator gonna be taking game number 1.
Damn.
Hot damn.
That was so good as well because it felt like it honestly did feel like these two were pretty evenly matched, and Rex, he was trying to pull out these moves. It looked so good when he got that surround, but in the end, like, it just wasn't enough. Like, that was
in
amazing.
the end, he really was trapped in there with Creator.
Yeah,
Wait, but
exactly.
they're both in the same house as Trapped, though. How does that work out?
Oh god. You have that scene, you're trapped in here with me. No, you're trapped in here with me. Then Trap opens the door.
Open the door and it's like, hey guys.
You're trapped in here with me. And everyone's like, oh god. The triple betrayal.
Good old Mexican standoffs. That's what we do love to see here in StarCraft 2. We need more 3-player maps. And it's a three-way free-for-all.
Oh god.
I want more merry-go-rounds is what I want.
Alright, here we go.
The Eternal Empire. I'm really... I would love to see what they throw out from us. If anything, we saw a couple of unorthodox openings, if you will. A little bit more towards the side of Creator, but eventually it sort of morphed itself into becoming a bit of a standard game. See how wild things get here now on Eternal Empire, L-E-E-L-E, Ile for short, which does in fact stand for expectations. Expectations enlarge. Life. Eloquently. That's a mantra for anybody who is in need for a mantra. We're here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. We have the Protoss, the red Protoss, all the way from the land of Korea. He is the most recent winner in Team Liquid Star League, that being TSL 4 back in the day. We have played for Generic Green Wings. It's Creator. Or Barcode.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Eternal Empire LE, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player representing Generic Green Wings. It is Rex.
I want you to know that I did, in fact, the word bottom in the previous game. So it's like lower left hand, and I'm like, wait, that doesn't sound right. What do I normally say?
I honestly do that sometimes as well. Like, I end up like saying the same thing but with like words that I don't usually say, and then it like confuses me a little bit. I'm like, wait a minute. Purity in industry is the worst for that because every single time I start off regular and then I go into the like clock positions instead because it's not regular. It's like, oh god.
He's like north-ish, kind of.
Yeah. Really, that's the one reason why I'm glad it's not going to be in the next season. The next season map pool.
Oh yeah, it's not because it's bad for Zerg. It's not because it's a little bit wild, you know.
It's because the goddamn intros. Corner bases, people, come on.
No corner bases, people. How are we gonna get merry-go-round? Triangle bases, please.
Maybe, depends how the triangle is situated.
It's at each corner.
Yeah, we do have some pretty
triangle.
Some pretty standard openers. Rex being a little bit cautious, he did send his Ling out to the top, to the north of the map, as well as the south as well, looking for proxies. So, trying to play it safe.
I know what our teammates are like. I'm in your team. I know what the other Protoss players are like. And Eternal Empire, for some reason, despite being arguably one of the more standard maps, is actually... I don't actually have the statistic, but anecdotally, it feels like it's one of the most common proxy maps in this current map pool.
Yeah, there are two. It's in this weird situation where it probably is the most macro favored map, and we do have incredibly long games on it. But because of that, if a player doesn't want to go a macro game against another player, then we see a lot of proxies because of that, right? So yeah, you either have one or the other.
No middle ground, which is how I like my StarCraft maps. Speaking of no middle ground, Creator this time opting for a double Oracle right off the gate, so not going for that very quick Soul Train army right off the very start. Gonna be playing a bit more harass focus, which I think does go back to what we were saying earlier. Like Eternal Empire is a very macro-oriented map, and one of the ways that a lot of people like to play this sort of macro style out, I know that Creator liked to do it way back in the early 2012 days, is to just sort of harass your opponent and try to get them, force them into position where they have to attack you.
Oh, and the Spore isn't quite done yet here at the third base, so Creator does find a little bit more extra drone kills there. Rex being a little bit greedy. And yeah, as you were saying, I do favor the playstyle that Rex played in game number 1. I would imagine would do better in a map like Eternal Empire, just because it's so much bigger and because constantly Rex was trying to buy time for his Locust to recharge every single time. So it would be a little bit easier here. So I do like that Creator, he's adjusting his playstyle. He's doing it a little bit differently, knowing how Rex played in game number 1.
Yeah, it's much more difficult to catch out those Niduses when you have to waddle around back and between bases with Immortals. A little bit easier when you have Oracles here.
Yeah, definitely. As I'm not too sure if this is a difference. I can't quite remember the upgrade order for Rex in game number 1, but we do have +1 melee, which is a little bit interesting.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and I wasn't actually sure when Rex got his upgrades in the previous game. But this does typically indicate that the Xur player wants to go a bit more aggressive. Not too committed, but yeah, definitely wants to play a little more or Ling run by heavy.
Yeah, we could even see Lingbane Hydra coming out, or a more Lingbane oriented army for Rex, as we do have these glaives moving out across the map. They are glaiveless, but regardless, the adepts are pretty good. They're pretty scary.
They are, and I'm kind of worrying for Rex a little bit now if he does want to go into this Lingbane army, because so far, Creator has just about built the most anti-Ling army available to him.
Yeah, pretty much. As we say that, 18 Lings were just made by Rex as well, so he is going very heavy into this. He's getting a Baneliness as well, so Ling Bane is the composition that he's looking for, and that's not ideal against this, like, triple Oracle opener.
Yeah, it does definitely help a little bit versus the Banelings, not the Banelings, sorry, the Adepts, because when the Banelings try to crash in, not a lot are going to survive, but again, how many connections are they going to have to make, and how many of those Banelings are just going to be sniped by these Oracles?
Yeah, like these Oracles are going to reign supreme in the sky, and I do like that Rex, he is backing off, he is droning up behind this, but a lot of Larva was kind of wasted on Lings there.
And this is why I do like that Rex now going to be transitioning towards more of a Roach style composition. Grabbing down that Roach Warren. We'll see what he gets to complement that. That is a Spire alrighty then.
Okay. So this is very interesting. Maybe I almost want to say that the Roach one is a little bit of a fake out, because he's still getting +2 melee and he's getting a Spire, so it almost feels as if he still wants to focus on that melee ground army and maybe even get mutas behind it, like kind of surprise his opponent.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail exactly on the hit. He is getting a little bit of a Galactic Constitution, but I'm thinking that's more for if he decides to go for any Roach run by. So we do see now that Creator did not manage to go all the way in and did not see that Spire. So right now he's just thinking Roaches are coming out. I need... Okay, he's thinking Roaches are coming out, but I'm gonna get another Stargate. I'm gonna get some Phoenixes out.
How?
I'm gonna crowd control those Roaches, and then I'm gonna let the Archons deal with them. I mean, that's not what's gonna happen, but inadvertently, Creator still built the army that counters Rex's army.
Yeah, I'm just double checking Creator's vision. He has no idea that the Spire is coming. He did scout the Roach one, but he is still going double Stargate. Somehow.
I'm thinking, okay, two possibilities. Either one, Creator knows that this is a fake out because, of course, they are teammates. They know each other decently well. Or what I choose to believe, Light, Creator is going for an unconventional anti-Roach army, which just so happens to also be an anti-Mutalisk army.
It's possible, it's possible. I get, like, he could have read the situation because there were so many Lings, and he can click on them and he could see the upgrades. Maybe he put one and two together to end up with a Spire at the end. It's hard to say, or as you said, maybe this is just his way to deal with
Roaches. He's like, yeah, Roaches can't shoot up. I'm gonna lift them all and let my Archons shoot them from below.
Oh boy.
Alright, these Mutalisks are looking a little bit bruised, so if Creator didn't know about them before, he should know about them now. So good call, either way, by Creator.
Yeah, you know, well played. This is kind of rough for Rex, to say the least, because he invested in all these Mutalisks. He barely got any worker kills.
Well, look at his pullback on the injured Phoenixes. Very nicely done here by Creator. He is hunting down these Mutalisks, and once this has been dealt with, Rex, you know, he's starting to get a little bit desperate. He knows he needs to do some damage, and he's going to try to find a way to do it, and I don't think it's going to work out. Creator just has free reign to move across the map, essentially.
Rex was just completely shut down. He lost 14 Mutalisks for, like, a single probe. Like, that was not worth it at all. That was insane, the way that Creator has read this game, has they been able to prepare for it. More Mutalisks are going down as well. They're so expensive as well.
You could argue that he is the one who creates the openings, opportunity, no wait, situation, look, something or another.
Yeah. I mean, there are these little wins here. These Immortals are going to get caught out, which is nice. But again, Rex, he is pretty far behind. He invested a lot into those Mutalisks. He needs something to bring him back into this game. And right now, there's no answer to these Phoenixes.
13 of them in the sky, still producing them 2 by 2. These Corruptors, they're good versus Phoenixes, but you cannot leave them isolated. Or you cannot just, you can't leave them isolated is what I mean. These Phoenixes are just looking to pounce on them one by one. These Zealots, who needs a depth, am I right? These Zealots are just doing such an insane job, providing such a good buffer here for this Archon. And the ground army's getting cleared out. The Sky Army is actually still holding decently strong, but Creator, I mean, he's bled out a couple of Phoenixes, but he still has the air advantage for quite some time.
Even though he's been trading inefficiently against the Corruptors, like, Phoenixes aren't ideal, like, he just has enough to overwhelm the small amounts here and there for Rex, and in the end, all the Corruptors are going down, the Zealots dealt so much damage as well.
Yeah, Rex has been able to hold this, but it's, as you said, the Zealots just did a lot of damage. Now, one thing that Rex does have going for him, he has a lot of bases and a lot of larvae. He has already pretty much recovered economically from this position. Now it's pretty much just a matter of rebuilding his army, which, again, he's going to be able to do that kind of unhindered right now. Creator forced back, tail between his legs.
Yeah, that's kind of what it comes down to. Maybe Creator invested too much in these Phoenixes. We'll see how he's able to utilize them against these Roaches.
I think he's overextended.
Yeah, he could have. I mean, like, look at the worker counts. Like, worker counts are pretty even. Rex is ahead on bases. Rex's army supply is larger. But does Rex have the army that he needs against this composition is kind of the bigger question. And we'll see how that goes.
Well, I tell you, like, Corruptors do pretty well versus Warp Prisms, from what I'm told.
They do pretty well.
And now there are quite a lot of them. These Phoenixes are not going to be able to trade as efficiently as previously. Which is why our Creator gonna be going into his late game. He knows it's the time.
Yeah, I do like this. He is getting into either carriers or Tempest. We'll see what he decides to go for. I do feel like it's a little bit stylistic, and we'll see
In ZvP
what he's
nowadays,
able to do with this.
yeah, you can really go either way.
Yeah. Again, pointing to Battle of the Americas, Patty Mac, he went mass carriers. And it did not go well for him. The entire time, like, make Tempest, please. You need the Tempest. Don't go mass. Get like a couple carriers and then complement them with Tempest. But he was very stubborn. didn't work out. We'll
All right,
see.
well,
We'll see what
it looks
does.
like Creator's just going straight into Mothership. Why not? The Mothership is one of the best support units in the game. Very expensive, I'll give you that, but if you're able to really utilize it and you have the proper units to make use of that Mothership, you can really become unstoppable. And a Creator, I'm not convinced that he's at that point yet, but he's getting close.
Yeah, no, the Bailings were a little bit wasted there. They didn't get very many good connections at all, and now we are seeing Creator push into the low ground. And does Rex have enough?
Alright, we do see a little bit of a surround here. These Bailings not quite getting the connections they want. They are trying to go for juicy targets, but what happens when they do that? They just get shelled down by these Archons. I couldn't even get the words out. I was so shocked by that connection.
That was just so well played by Creator. All of the Zealots were hidden at the back. They were waiting for all the Bailings to be dealt with first.
And now they just pounce. GG is called. Come on, GG button. Come on. And Creator looking absolutely on top of the world that game. Yeah. Nicely done. This is the Creator of old that we kind of harken back to. GG, well played. Creator takes out his opponent, his teammate in Rex, and he will advance to face Patience. Ooh, that's gonna be the real test.
Yeah.
PvP.
Yeah, we always get into PvPs, and recently we've only ever casted Patience in a PvP. I think we casted him against Zest last week,
Zest
right?
most recently, yeah.
Yeah. And that wasn't very pretty. I remember us freaking out a little bit at how Patience was playing, and
he saw the Dark Shrine light.
He did. He saw the Dark Shrine. He even landed units next to the Dark Shrine. He killed the pylon that was powering the Dark Shrine, and he didn't get detection. God damn it, Patience.
Real living up to his name there.
Oh my god. You know what? I want to see the same thing again.
You want to see Creator go for a Dark Shrine, and for Patience to scout it, attack it, leave it down into red health, but not quite kill it, and then choose not to get detection.
Look, it's depowered, it's depowered. Like, you can't do anything with it, right?
Yeah, so long as he doesn't research Blink. That's all we need. Oh yeah, that is definitely why a Patience game. It's why it's a lot of fun to watch and cast a Patience game, no matter what the matchup, no matter who he's up against, because man, sometimes Patience, he can really be very amusing.
Yeah, you can look. There's a lot that you can say about Patience. The one thing I will say is that he is an entertaining player to watch.
Absolutely. That's entertaining players who gotta stick together.
Exactly. And yeah, it's cool that we're going to be able to see him up against Creator, someone who I will say is more around his skill level compared to Zest. These are like two solid mid-tier level like Protoss Koreans. So yeah, we'll be able to see who's able to get one up on the other.
Who will create, or who will have patience? That was terrible. I need to think of something better for next time.
We'll get there. I mean, the pun potential is there.
One day we'll be Steel,
I hope not. I like my hair, it's something I've grown attached to.
It's literally attached, yeah.
Yeah. God. But as we wait for the players to do their vetoes, we did get confirmation, by the way. Patience and Creator, they're like, yo, yep, we're good. We'll invite you when we're ready. And
Yeah, you just
a
gotta
bunch
have
of
patience.
yeah, and the majority of the round one matches have finished up.
Sick.